This particular question or point was sent in by Matthew Wiles the other day, where we were talking about Fantastic Four, and he just kind of randomly said, "Who do you think should be cast in the roles of Fantastic Four?" So while this is not movie news, we're just going to speculate. We are going to purely speculate for a minute. I mean, it is heavily been suggested, not just suggested, but like petitioned for John Krasinski and Emily Blunt to play the leads of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards and Sue Storm. Ever since this was announced, like 2 years ago or a year, like however long ago that people have been talking about this, it has gotten inside of my psyche, inside of my soul. I don't want anybody to play these characters except for John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I mean, here's my top. I mean, look at that. I mean, like I see this photo that somebody else has clearly photoshopped. It looks like it's on the body of Captain America. But I can't look at this and think, oh, John Krasinski isn't perfect. He is. Look, Emily Blunt. Sorry, hold on. Where's my Emily Blunt? There we go. Emily Blunt as Sue Storm. Like, again, having an actual married couple in real life to play an actual married couple on screen. It's perfect. And Emily Blunt is such a great actor. She can do action. Look at Edge of Tomorrow. Look at A Quiet Place. Look at Sicario. Like, she's a hardcore action star now, and I would love to see her in this role. I'm gonna give my my other picks for Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm, and then also Doctor Doom. But before I do, I want to hear from you, Eric. Like, besides John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, is there anyone else that's on the tip of your tongue?
Like, you're right. I don't want to say you're right, because because I haven't thought process, but I feel like John's not my first. Like, when I think of Reed Richards, I don't think him. But the reality is, you're right. He's tall. He's got confidence. He has definitely done that journey as an actor, going from this office character to being quite the action star and an amazing writer and director. His ability to have that sort of on off switch is so solid in a lot of great actors, where they can be both hilariously fun and turn it on and be serious. I think we've been ruined with the Fantastic Four so many times that it worries me that if we put somebody wonderful in the role and the movie gets ruined, then I'm going to feel ruined again. Like, part of me doesn't have any faith in whatever happens in the next Fantastic Four film, that they'll just, put. But that being said, we talked about how putting a good actor in a role and direct a Star Trek The Next Generation improvised musical show. And my sort of main thing, because we play the characters from the show, my one goal is good acting, but then right after that, like right up next to it, is I'm trying to make everyone look the part. And they both, they're not my gut reaction, but they both work. They both fit. It's the whole Blade thing again. It's like, it's not who I would have thought if you said who would play the role, but you say it and my brain goes, yeah, that works. I actually think someone like Stephen Colbert would make a really good Reed Richards.
Wow.
But in fairness, he did the voice of the Reed Richards-esque character in the Venture Brothers.
Wow.
He's got that look. I mean, but he's not the actor that.
I never stopped to think.
Photoshop him in.
Wow. I mean, I highly doubt they would get Stephen Colbert to play Reed Richards. I mean, no. He's too busy doing his television show. But wow, that could be great casting.
He's got that look, and I think the one part is
he has.
Some time has gone by, and And there's something about Reed Richards, at least is the character that I picture, whereas that classic, you know, I'm a I'm a scientist, and it's very old fashioned looking and that sort of thing. We don't need to stick with that, and I think, you know, we move on to further casting. There's a lot of possibilities. I think though I hated the last Fantastic Four, seeing Michael B. Jordan
Oh yeah.
in it was
Oh
a
yeah, he
fine
was
choice in
great.
my mind. It's like, what does that matter? It's a comic book story.
I mean, I had that knee jerk reaction myself when I first heard it, and then once I kind of let the idea sink in a little bit, I totally came around to it. It was like, oh yeah, sure, great, awesome. I mean, he's a great actor. My whole question was, how are they going to play them off as siblings? And oh, Sue Storm was adopted. Great, easy, done.
Great,
Off,
done,
off you go.
simple.
Off you go. I want to go back to Stephen Colbert for a second. This is
Yeah,
like this whole concept is blowing my mind right now. Stephen Colbert could be perfect for it. I mean, yes, he has the look, but everything that what you read, of how you read Reed Richards to be in the comics, it feels like Stephen Colbert has that same feeling. Yes, the look, but also the intellectual stimulation that Reed Richards has. I don't associate John Krasinski with that same level of, because Reed Richards is the most intellectual. He's the smartest person on the planet,
yeah,
essentially. You know, and now in the MCU, it's Shuri. Shuri is the most. She's the smartest person on the planet. But
right.
up until that point, you know, think about Reed Richards as being the second smartest person on the planet, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was Reed and Stark constantly butting heads about like whose tower is
Yeah,
bigger, right? Well, I've got more.
yeah.
Yeah, the non-stop sort of back and forth thing of geniuses, which is kind of great.
And you know, also to your point,
Nerds.
when Doctor Strange was when Benedict Cumberbatch was cast as Doctor Strange, I was like, okay, I could see that, but I really wanted Luke Evans. I really wanted Luke Evans.
Oh yeah,
He's an underrated actor. He needs a big break. He's done a whole bunch of like big projects, but he's never really shined the way that I feel like his strengths are.
could he play? Could he play Reed?
Luke Evans? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, but I want to go on to a few other picks of mine. So here's Emily Blunt as Sue Storm. Here's a controversial one. I saw that I had such a hard time thinking of like who could play Ben Grimm, the Thing.
Oh, hold on, let's stick with Sue Storm because I asked as Sue Storm. She's a little
I'm not familiar with
older.
Gina Torres.
So Zoe
Oh, I never watched
from Firefly. We yeah. Anyway, we'll move on with that. Let's
But I mean, there's a,
go to. I was gonna say, we've seen them as so insecure characters already. We're naming actors who can play them as confident, which would be really wonderful
Right.
to see.
There's
That's
so many
all.
different picks. There's
Yeah.
so many different great picks. Even oh shoot, what's her name? Game of Thrones. Oh, she was married to Joffrey, but like she was also trying to kill him. Oh. No. She was married to Joffrey before Sansa. No.
No, yeah.
Sansa was never married to Joffrey. She was married to somebody else. I'm getting everything confused.
Oh,
Blonde-haired
right.
girl.
That's right, you're right.
Oh, I can't think of her name.
Really great, like side smile.
Yeah, she's like that kind of like evil look. Yeah, I think she could do.
Make a great Storm.
She could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of like who could do a really good Ben Grimm, and I've never like everyone's like, oh, Vin Diesel or The Rock, or like everyone's looking for like a big bruiser kind of person who's like, hey, I'm a big New York.
Batista.
Yeah, like Dave Bautista or something. Like I want someone who you wouldn't expect. and also you need a little bit more levity. Obviously Johnny Storm is the one for like comedic relief, but I think it would work really well if you got Jason Sudeikis to play Ben Grimm. I would really like to see that. I think that'd be really fun and really interesting. My next pick for Johnny Storm should not come as a shock to anybody. Zac Efron. I love Zac Efron. He's such a good actor. He's so underrated. He doesn't, in some ways he gets the credit that he deserves, but in some ways he doesn't. And my last pick for Doctor Doom, again, I saw this and my mind exploded. Giancarlo Esposito. Man, are you kidding me? Gus Fring?
That'd be fun.
Yes, please.
It'd be a different Doom, that's for sure.
Oh man, I would love. Let's go back to this photo for just a second. When you talk about the king of Latveria, I can see Giancarlo Esposito just completely dominating the landscape and being like, yes, I am a king. Yeah. I am a narcissist. I am hungry for power, and I will do whatever it takes. Man.
Verbose, like, yes, I'm the king.
Yeah, not like Skeletor. No.
It's very subtle and methodical. And it becomes, it just shows that difference of performance where it's more believable, it's more scary, it's more dangerous, it's more unpredictable. He's willing to do a lot more. I love that casting choice. What just dawned on me for Ben is Jonathan Majors, who is the lead in Lovecraft Country, if you haven't seen that. Which I actually think...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, he's not the comedic. I think he's got the attitude that would work really well for either the character of Johnny.
Well, you can't go with Jonathan Majors because he's already been cast as the time traveler guy. Why can't I think of his name? In Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So he's already playing the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Why can't I think of his name? Great. The time traveler. I keep wanting to say Ming the Merciless, but that's a completely different movie. Why can't I think of his name? You guys know what I'm talking about.
I'll change. It's David Hasselhoff plays both. He does double duty as Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm.
Why not?
Since Ben's going to be a CG anyway.
Before we wrap this up, what other last minute picks do you have?
Oh man, I think the same thing. It's a comic book. Let's get some diversity. If you're gonna die hard on your sword with that both Johnny and Storm have to be siblings, then put them as siblings and get some other diversity in the other two roles. Because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter anymore. And it would be great to see just something different. Just surprise me with something different. That's
fair.
All I think.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Big question for you guys is, none of the, as Eric mentioned, none of this matters. None of this matters. We're just talking about dream casting. I mean, if you wanted to put, my goodness, who's a very off the wall casting?
Andy Dick. Let's pick Andy Dick as Ben Grimm.
Andy Dick. What a strange choice. It doesn't matter. As long as you get somebody talented, somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Please don't matter.
Yeah. I went back a few weeks ago and I watched all 4 Fantastic Four films back to back. Over the course of, I think it was like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. I watched all 4.
Are you suffering? You all right? Do you need professional help? Are you
shoulder to cry on? I still contend that Rise of the Silver Surfer is the best of the 4 Fantastic Four films. I also contend that Chris Evans as Johnny Storm was perfect.
He's great.
He killed it. It was awesome.
He was absolutely perfect.
Everything else sucked.
I will not.
Everything else was terrible. I also contend the first 30 minutes of Fant 4 Stick was awesome. It was really, really good. Everything else after that 30 minutes, woof, it just fell off very, very quickly. Anyway, we've been talking about Fantastic Four too long. Yes.
What is her name? She was in Preacher. She was in Agents of Shield. She would make a really good Storm. What is her name?
Ming-Na Wen?
I'm gonna find it real quick. What was that?
Ming-Na Wen?
Is that her name?
The Asian woman from Agents of Shield?
No. No, she was Flowers. Ruth Negga.
Oh.
Ruth Negga would make a really good Storm.
Interesting.
She is. I love watching her without question, and I think she would be a fantastic Storm. And you know what? I'm willing to happily say not. What would happen if that was the case?
Oh,
You would get a lot of people really, really upset. But
yeah,
I'd
you
be
would.
fine with it.
You really,
They've
really
done
would.
so much wrong. They've done so much wrong with Fantastic Four. I'd be fine with them doing whatever they want with Fantastic Four.
I mean, who knows?
But yeah,
Benjamina.
yeah, Ruth Negga I think could be a great. Yeah, she was. She's in the.
Interesting. Yeah, you guys, big question for you is, what are your top picks for Fantastic Four? Like we said, it doesn't matter. No decisions have been made. I feel like a lot of fans are already clinging to the John Krasinski, Emily Blunt force. But again, like, we don't have to stick to that. It could be quite literally anybody else on the planet. What are your thoughts? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know those thoughts. All right, you guys.
Can I ask you real fast?
Yeah, ask away.
Of all the movies we've named, is there a movie that you would be in and you?
Of all the movies that we've talked about today?
Yeah, of all the movies we've talked about today.
Who do I think that I would fit the best?
Yeah. Or who do you just want to play?
Who do I just want to play?
I mean, obviously we're not going to.
I think I would fit best as a Bruce Campbell level cameo in Doctor Strange. I think I think that's who I would do the best as. Who would I want to play?
Yeah, who do you want to play?
Oh, man, I think I would have.
We've recast everybody in all these films. Who do you get to be?
I would like to play the villain. This is a great question. I think I would like to play one of the villains in Themyscira.
Ooh.
If they bring in like some Greek mythology into that movie, and the whole movie kind of revolves, like spans a few generations or a few decades or whatever, and it really is the Amazonians battling against kind of like some evil demonic gods or something. Yeah, I think I would have to think about which god or demigod I would be the right fit for, but I would say kind of like an evil god in Themyscira I think would be the right fit for me. How about you?
Oh, a villain in Blade. I want to go right up against Blade.
Get your head lopped off.
I'm not egotistical enough to say I'm going to play Blade, but I will totally play a villain against him. I think that'd be blast.
Yeah, I mean that would be really interesting too. I mean, vampires. I'm all for Blade. There's something about vampires that for me it's a little meh played out.
Oh yeah, but you got Themyscira and Blade. Those are going to be the two. They're going to have some real fight scenes against their antagonists, as it were.
Or I'll throw another one in here. Fantastic Four. I would love to play the mailman. What's his name? He was cameoed in the Jessica Alba one as with Stan Lee, but Willie. What's his name? Willie the mailman. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Because my father was.
To be clear, you kick it wonderfully.
Oh, thanks.
I think you'd have I think you can play the right demeanor to back and
If it was
forth.
CGI, 100%. If I had to be in that costume,
Well,
no.
yeah, of course it's
I am
CGI.
not an intimidating force.
None of us are. We've been.
I played I played Santa Claus in a sketch a number of years ago. I was on the sketch team called 301 Views, and the sketch was about how Santa Claus was losing too much weight, and so he got a weight trainer to come in and plump him up for Christmas. And so we ended up putting plastic all over the floor. My friend Andy Danish was the one who wrote the sketch. We put plastic all over the floor. And this was the last sketch that we did in the night. And man, we made a mess. He came in with this huge pie, and like the whole thing was like down 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I just like tried to eat as much food as I could, just cram it in. And then for the last bit of the sketch, we had a table with a blender at the end, and there was all kinds of, there was mincemeat pie, there was turkey breast, there was gravy, there were mashed potatoes, what else, candy, there was like all kinds of, just like when you mash it all together. He put it all in a blender, blended it in front of the audience, gave it to me, and I just like dumped it all over my face. The reason I'm bringing this up is I had that shirt, and like I kind of turned into like the Incredible Hulk, kind of like Santa hungry kind of. It was terrible.
I'm picturing the interviews leading up to the movie. You look amazing in the film. What'd you do? Oh, I ate nothing but chicken breast, and I worked out every day. Hey, Mike, what did you do to play a CG'd version of Ben Grimm? Oh, well, my friend put everything you could find in the fridge in a blender.
And I drank it.
That's what I ate. And I drank it for 3
I put on 100 pounds. That's what you're supposed to do, right? But you're doing CG acting. You don't actually need to. No. I'm a method actor here.
Very method in this style.
Ben Grimm weighs a ton, doesn't he? He's made of rock. I think he weighs a ton. Hey, as close to that as I can get, man. 2,000 pounds over here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Tony Stark's Iron Man would want you to do.